Monitor Mylan Denerstein said the NYPD's neighborhood safety team special unit deployed in the past 14 months to seize guns in high crime areas were engaging in quote unconstitutional policing by stopping and frisking too many people without jurisdiction. Now we talk, Republicans always talk about we're a nation of laws. But when laws are being broken like this, they have nothing really to say. But let's just go back to what the Monitor had to say about this. In one police precinct, only 41% of stops, 32% of frisk, and 26% of searches were lawful. The neighborhood safety teams, a replacement for anti-crime units that the NYPD disbanded in 2021, operate in 34 areas that account for 80% of the city's violent crime, largely communities of color. Of the people the teams have stopped, Denerstein said 97% are Black or Hispanic. Now this reporting is coming from the Associated Press. They go on. Denerstein said she began her review after Adams announced in March of 2022 that the NYPD was deploying neighborhood safety teams in some precincts to combat gun violence. Team members wearing modified uniforms and driving unmarked cars conducted stops, frisks, and searches in their assigned neighborhoods. Now, despite training and experience, officers assigned to neighborhood safety teams overall appear to be stopping, frisking, and searching individuals at an unsatisfactory level of compliance. Too many people are stopped, frisked, and searched unlawfully. We all should be concerned about that. A spokesperson for Mayor Eric Adams says city officials have serious concerns with the methodology that the Monitor used and that they only learned of her findings after news outlets reported on them. Now, I'm curious to know, Max, why they didn't kind of know that ahead of time, especially if you are trying to alleviate pressures and do a new type of policing, reimagine policing, and we need to do that all over America. But to me, it's quite telling that they weren't even aware of the Monitor's findings and really did not take a attack, at least in what we know the comments were about her findings. They didn't take a let's try to work this out, let's try to figure this out kind of tack. They were really seemed offended.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing what you don't find when you don't look. And that's really what the city's been doing for decades. I mean, the NYPD is an $11 billion behemoth in this city. It is clearly out of the control of anyone to regulate. The mayor is already struggling now, not only with budgets, but also with accountability and enforcement of rules. It's essentially a body that chooses how it is governed. And that acceptance of that as the status quo is what holds our city back. Unfortunately, police unions have a lot of money and they've been very effective at keeping progressives out who want to say not no police at all, but maybe restore the balance a bit more to something that actually involves communities in community policing.
That's exactly right. And it helps law enforcement too. It just makes it creates a stasis. It makes it safer for law enforcement officials. It makes it safer for the community. When the community feels in partnership with its police departments, it's better for everyone. And why wouldn't you want to do it that way?